Hello everyone and welcome back to the second video on market basket analysis. Here I want to talk about some of the important terminology that is associated with this technique. So let's go through some of these important concepts. The first one is what is known as the items or the objects. So for any market basket analysis, we basically need purchase data. And for any kind of a purchase, we need to first identify that what are the items that are being sold. And these items are critical when you are doing your association analysis. So for example, for a grocery store, items could mean milk and bread and butter. And an item set, on the other hand, is simply a set of items that are represented like this in any given analysis. Okay, so this is an item set, and the individual items that are being sold, such as milk, bread and bananas, are the items that are part of this analysis. The next thing that we talk about are the transactions, and transactions are simply the data that we have that represents the purchase transaction essentially. So if you talk about the grocery store example, essentially the single receipt represents a transaction. So if you go to the store, you buy 10 different items and you check out and you get a receipt at the end of the transaction, that receipt ID represents the transaction, and the items that you have purchased represents the item set that are a part of that transactions. The next important concept is referred to as the rules. Now, the rules are simply the output of the technique. So let's look at what the output will look like and what is it that we are focusing on when analyzing the output of market basket analysis. So the rules are of a form where it has a left hand side and a right hand side. So the way we read the rule is that left hand side implies right hand side. So this sign here is referred to as the implies sign. So what is it that we are implying? So what we're saying is that people who are buying the items on the left hand side are also interested in buying the items that are represented on the right hand side. So let's take a look at an example of a rule to understand this further. An example looks like that, where I'm saying flour and sugar implies eggs. So what does this mean? What it means is that people who are buying flour and sugar are also interested in buying eggs. That is how we interpret the rule. And essentially what happens is that once we get the output, which are the rules from this market basket analysis, then we exploit these rules to make the business decisions, such as product placement and product bundling or cross-sell and upsell that I had talked about in the previous video. So let's take a look at a very important concept related to market basket analysis, and this here is called the support. So what is the support of an item or an item set? So support refers to the frequency of purchase, and what it basically tells you is that what is the percentage of transactions where a particular item or item set has been purchased. Now support can be a percentage as a fraction of transactions where a particular item is purchased, or it could also be a count, which is a whole number which represents the number of transactions where a particular item has been purchased. And as you can guess, in general it is nice to identify rules that have high support, because high support means high popularity. So what it means is that if you have an item with high support, then that means that that is a very popular product. And if you have a rule with high support, then what it would mean is that that rule will be applied to a large number of transactions. So right now I talked about the support of a rule. So let's understand that a bit better before I move on to the next concept. So let's take a look at this example. Flour and sugar implies eggs. So if this is my rule and I want to find out the support of this rule, what would I do? So basically, to find out the support of this rule, I want to find out the fraction of the transactions where flour, sugar and eggs are purchased together. So basically, I'll go to my data set, I'll look at the number of transactions or the number of baskets where flour, sugar and eggs are all present, and I divide that by the number of total transactions, and that percentage will give me the support of a rule. So remember, the support of a rule is that left hand side and right hand side are both present. That is what we are trying to find when we're trying to find the support of a rule. Let me go to one more concept in this video, which is the confidence of a rule. So let's pause a bit and let's try to understand that a bit better. What is the meaning of a confidence of a rule? So I'm going to first read the definition on this page, and then I will go to the example and explain that to you a bit more. So let's see what's written here. The confidence of a rule is the likelihood that the rule is true for new transactions that contain the items on the left hand side of the rule. So what does this mean? Let's go to the example and understand this. Here I had talked about flour and sugar implies eggs. So what is the meaning of confidence of the rule flour and sugar implies eggs? What we just read is that the confidence of a rule is the likelihood that the rule is true for transactions that contain the left hand side. So what does that mean for this example? Let's understand that. What it means is that if I was to look at the transactions that contain flour and sugar, what is the likelihood of finding eggs in those transactions? So in terms of probability, I'm talking about a conditional probability here. So if I say that the confidence of the rule flour and sugar implies eggs is 80%, then what it means is that 80% of the transactions that have flour and sugar also have eggs present in those transactions. That is the meaning of the confidence of a rule. So coming back to this side, basically what we're saying is that confidence of a rule is the probability that the transaction that contains the left hand side also contains the right hand side. Okay, and in terms of the formula of confidence, as you see here, confidence of a rule, item M implies item N, is simply the support of the rule divided by the support of the left hand side of the rule. So basically, support of the rule tells us the number of transactions where item M and item N are both present, and that is our numerator, and the denominator is the support of the left hand side, which in our example is the support of M. So very simply put, just to reiterate, what we are saying is that to find the confidence of a rule, we will look at the number of transactions where the left hand side is satisfied, and in those transactions we will see which are the transactions where the right hand side is also present, and that fraction will give us the confidence of the rule.